In a previous video, we had seen that any fluid exerts a pressure at some depth in all directions. So let's say we have a container here, this sort of container, and it is filled with some fluid. So if we look at the pressure at this point, which is at some depth inside this container, the pressure at this point due to the fluid would be first of all in all directions. So the fluid applies pressure in all directions at this point, and this pressure depends on how deep this point is inside the fluid. So the pressure at this point would be more than the pressure at this point, because this point is deeper than this point. So in this video, let us now try to explore and come up with a relation to find the density, to find the pressure at some depth inside a fluid. So for this, let us take some surface. Let us take this surface here inside water, and let's find out the pressure on this small surface here. So you can take any shape here. I'm just for simplicity, I'm taking a rectangular shape. You may take a circular shape, any shape, even an irregular shape would do, and it doesn't really matter. So I'm taking a small shape which is parallel to the floor of the container, so that the height at all the points of the surface is same, and we do not get any variation in the pressure. Now let us find the pressure. I'll denote pressure by the letter P. So we know that the pressure generally is due to thrust per unit area. So right, pressure is thrust per unit area, or we may call that force per unit area in simpler terms. So what is the force here? Well, the force exerted would be in the downwards direction due to gravity. And what is pushing downwards? Well, it is this column of water above this area, this exact column that is sitting right above this area. Let me just highlight that column. This column of water, so all the water that is inside this column would be exerting a pressure due to the weight of that water downwards on this surface. The water inside this section here, just right above this, the area that we've chosen, would be applying a pressure on this surface. And how much would that pressure be? Well, that would be the weight of this water, which is the force that exerts downwards. So weight, let that be W. So the weight of this water inside this column here, divided by the area that we've chosen. Let's say that area is A, so it would be simply W upon A. Now what is the weight of water? Well, we know that the weight of any object is simply a force, and we know that force equals mass times acceleration. So weight, which is a force, should be equal to mass times acceleration in this direction. What is the acceleration in this direction? Well, this is the acceleration due to gravity, also called denoted by the letter G. So we know that the weight of any object is equal to mg, mass times gravitational acceleration. So we may substitute this quantity instead of writing weight. So we may write this as pressure equals mg divided by the area that we've chosen. So that is good. We may simplify this expression even more by saying that, so we know that density of any object is the mass per unit volume, or the mass of that substance divided by its volume. We denote density generally by the simple rho. So it's written as RHO. So this is the name of this letter, rho, and this is generally used to denote density. So we may say this is somewhat how you write rho, and rho or density equals mass divided by volume, or mass per unit volume is the density. So that is the symbol used to denote density, rho. So now what I can do is I can write this equation here as, by shifting this v on this side, I can write it as rho v, I shifted the v on the other side, equals to m. So I know that the mass equals to rho times v. So I have mass here, so I can write this mass as rho times v. So I will write pressure equals, so instead of writing m here, I'll write rho times v, and I have g here upon area. Okay, so that is also good. So we have now got the expression rho, which is density times volume into gravitational acceleration divided by the area, gives us the pressure due to this column of water. Now if we look at this diagram here, what is the volume of water? Well, we have a cuboid here, right? Because you've taken the rectangle. If you had taken a circular base, you would have got a cylinder. But that doesn't matter. What matters here is the shape, is how we can find the volume using this diagram here. So we know that the base area is A, and let's say this height of the column, which would be equal to the density, which would be equal to the depth of this column, is, let's say this has a height of h units. So h is the depth of water, or you can say the height of this column, or you may call it the depth of the point at which you are finding the pressure, that is denoted by h. So what should be the volume of this column of water? Well, we've studied the volume of cylinders and cuboids, and we know that for the case of a cuboid, we know that the volume of a cuboid is L into B into H, right? Length into breadth into height. That's the volume of a cuboid. Well, what is L into B? Well, length into breadth is equal to the area of the base, right? The base area. So we can write the base area A times H gives us the volume. So here we have volume. We can, instead of writing V as the volume, we can write it as AH. So I'll write that here. So pressure equals to density denoted by rho. Instead of writing V, I write AH times the gravitational acceleration, and this whole thing is divided by again A, right? Base area. And we know that this A and this A is the same A, right? That is the area of this base. So I can simply cancel this A with this A. So what I'm left with here is pressure equals rho density. I have G gravitational acceleration, and I have H left. So what I'm left with is this expression here, which says pressure of a given fluid at a given depth is equal to the density of that fluid denoted by rho, the gravitational acceleration, and the height of the column, or the depth at which you are finding the pressure, they are the same thing. So pressure equals rho gh, or the density into the gravitational acceleration into the depth or the height of the column. So that is how you find the pressure at a given depth. And so this is a very interesting result here. It does not matter how large surface you are using here, because the pressure at any depth is independent of the base area here, or the area you're choosing to find the pressure. And the pressure of any given fluid depends only on the density of the fluid. G is a constant on the surface of Earth at all points, so that is a constant here, and the height of the column. So if you're talking about water, even rho would be constant because the density of water is generally constant. So the pressure of water in any container depends on only H, which means that the pressure of water depends on only how deep you go. So if you have a tank, or even if you have a small pipe, let's say if you have a large tank here, a tank of water, and next to that you have a small pipe of water, if they are filled up to the same level with water, the pressure at the bottom of both of them, at let's say this point and this point, would be exactly equal, because the density of water is the same, the gravitational acceleration is the same, and H is also the same. So that is a very interesting result, because we might be tempted to think that pressure in this case would be higher, but pressure only depends on the depth of the point at which you are finding the pressure, not on the volume of water. So that's it for this video.